We already know Tremaine Edmonds, Jordan Poyer, Devin Singletary could very well be gone, but how about another guy, Bobby Hart, who had an 11.5% snap count last year on the field in 3 tackle sets, blocking, doing an awesome job blocking for this offense, and we're without him as well. Hey Bills Mafia, welcome to my channel, Bills News Consolidated. Today's video, we got to take a look at all the holes on this team and how I feel as though the Buffalo Bills should address them. There are a lot of under-the-radar holes that have already been addressed, I think, by Brandon Beane as well. He always says to fill the holes on the team before the NFL draft so that you're not stretching for a player in the NFL draft. But we got to take a look at it. We got to take a look at the available free agents, and we have to take a look at the available draft picks and whether draft pick is worthy of being drafted at 27th overall or later in the NFL draft. First big-time hole on this team is really running back, and a lot of people are saying that the Bills are never going to take a running back in the first round. I think really the only worthy running back to take in the first round is Bijan Robinson. Clearly, the Buffalo Bills have interest taking him out to dinner. Not only him, but Rashawn Johnson, his teammate, who I am awfully high on as well. They played in a similar type offense there at Texas. We all know Texas goes against top-notch competition. Thing I like about Rashawn Johnson is that he played quarterback. He can sling that ball. He can throw it. And they utilized him in the Wildcat as well. The chances of Bijan Robinson being there at the 27th overall pick are very slim, but crazier things have happened in the NFL draft. And I think one of these players that we're going to discuss in this video should definitely be available. It should be a blessing for Bills Mafia. Next on the list, I'm going to stick with the offense, and we already discussed it. Bobby Hart being that tackle for the Buffalo Bills last year, blocking in those 3 tight end sets. You know, can the Buffalo Bills replace Bobby Hart with a tight end? Darnell Washington, this mammoth, huge tight end coming out, 6'8", 270 pounds. The guy is a freak of nature. He would not only replace Bobby Hart, but he would also give us a true pass-catching threat on the offense. I mean, he does a great job at the tight end position, high-pointing that ball. He's got great speed and agility for his size, and that's something to keep our eye on. If we can replace Bobby Hart with a tight end in this year's NFL draft, but Darnell Washington has to do as good as a job as blocking as Bobby Hart. Bobby Hart did a great job in those 3 tackle sets for Bills Mafia. The next hole is wide receiver. We discussed it. Going back to Josh Allen's perfect game when he completed all of his passes, the first time that's ever happened, and he went against Bill Belichick in that defense. That's huge. That's huge. We had Stephon Diggs. We had Gabe Davis. We had Emmanuel Sanders. We had Isaiah McKenzie, Cole Beasley, right, and Devin Singletary all catch passes, as well as Dawson Knox. When you look at what the Buffalo Bills have right now, we have Gabe Davis, Stephon Diggs, Gabe Davis playing Emmanuel Sanders' role, Khalil Shakir playing Gabe Davis's role during that perfect game, and we still have Isaiah McKenzie, we still have Dawson Knox, we don't have Devin Singletary, but James Cook and Nyheim Hines are better in pass catching than Devin Singletary, so that's an upgrade. The only piece that we don't have during that perfect game is Cole Beasley. And we brought him back last year. We brought John Brown back last year. We brought these Smurfs back last year because Isaiah McKenzie wasn't there. He couldn't really fill that role. Jamison Crowder was going to be that person. So the point here is that we're looking for another slot wide receiver. I've been wanting JSN, Jackson Smith, Najigba from Ohio State would be a flawless fit. He's got the size, he's got the strength, he's got the durability to eventually bump on the outside. He went against top-notch competition, sitting in zone coverages. He would be perfect fit for the Buffalo Bills. And the chances of him being there at the 27th overall pick now I think are a little bit slimmer, but it is very, very possible that that happens for the Buffalo Bills. Again, he didn't really run a 40, and he's known not to be top speed fast. I see his run after catch ability defeating that. He is so great, feeling the defenders and breaking things long for run after the catch. But the other guy I really like is Nathaniel Dell, Tank Dell. He's great, and he went against Sauce Gardner on the New York Jets. He actually burned them, and you can check out the tape. I think he would be absolutely dynamite for the Buffalo Bills. So if we miss out on JSN, I think we could take Tank Dell, Nathaniel Dell for the Buffalo Bills. That is a huge hole that the Bills could utilize on this team. Now, done with the offense and moving on to defense, we already know the hole's really there with Jordan Poyer and Tremaine Edmonds. But keep in mind, the Bills already did address this in free agency with Jalen Maiden, as well as Jalen Maiden, and we have Zane Anderson there as well. So I think that's huge, and we know what we did with Micah Hyde and Jordan Poyer, turning them into the stars that we did via free agency. So to think that Jalen Maiden and Zane Anderson can do the same, it's very, very plausible. Now, we could address this in the NFL draft, and the first player that could be there, 27th overall for the Buffalo Bills, is Brian Branch from Alabama. He's the same exact size as Jordan Poyer. He's fast, coming from Alabama, top-notch school program with Nick Saban, would be NFL pro ready, could probably plug and play from day one. But another guy there is Ronnie Hickman from Ohio State. Led Ohio State in tackles last year, has just been absolutely dominant for them. And I think he is just a reborn Jordan Poyer, to be honest. He can be another plug-and-play player that we could select later in the draft. So if we miss out on, say, Bijan Robinson, right? We can select Rashawn Johnson later in the draft. If we miss out on JSN, Jackson Smith-Njigba, we could take Nathaniel Dell later in the draft, right? And if we miss out on Brian Branch, we have Ronnie Hickman sitting in the back. So I think that is absolutely huge for the Buffalo Bills. My true concern is starting a rookie middle linebacker for the Buffalo Bills. That's why Tremaine Edmonds, to me, should definitely be a top priority for Bills Mafia. You go back to Sean McDermott's days in Carolina, that is one position on his defense that he had continuity during his whole entire duration there. I mean, absolutely huge. Thomas Davis, Luke Kuechly, absolutely huge. You have to have that continuity at the linebacker spot. Buffalo Bills, I think, are definitely eyeing another tackle. DeWand Jones, 27th overall. So if Bijan Robinson, Jackson Smith-Njigba are both gone, Brian Branch is even gone, I think DeWand Jones makes a lot of sense coming in, kind of competing with Spencer Brown, as well as being that backup, another hole to Deion Dawkins. We need a backup tackle still. Absolutely dynamite. Safety would be solidified here in the NFL draft. But again, I think the positions we address here via free agency, if we're not able to retain Tremaine Edmonds, I think middle linebacker would definitely be a free agent target for the Buffalo Bills. We already addressed safety position via free agency. There are some other guys sitting in the background here that could really contribute to Bills Mafia. So if you guys enjoyed this video, make sure you hit like, subscribe, really keep me progressing this channel and keep it going for you guys. So yeah, lots of moves for Brandon Beam. Let's go Bills. Peace.